Failure is feedback, not final. Listen to me very carefully. If you clicked on this video thinking failure means it's over, you got it all wrong. Failure is not the end. Failure is the classroom. Failure is not the graveyard. Failure is the gym. And you know what you've been doing. You've been treating your failures like a death sentence, when in reality it's a wake-up call. How many of you right now feel like you're done? You tried something once, twice, 3 times, it didn't work, and you're ready to quit. You told yourself, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. But let me ask you, did failure say that, or did you say that? Because failure never said you couldn't win. Failure just said, adjust. I remember being in college, y'all. I failed not once, not twice. I dropped out, homeless, sleeping in abandoned buildings. I failed classes. I failed relationships. I failed myself. But wait, let me tell you the secret. The moment I stopped seeing failure as final and started seeing it as feedback, that's when everything shifted. I need you to hear this. Every time you fail, the world is giving you information. It's saying that method didn't work. That approach wasn't right. That habit needs fixing. Failure is not telling you you're finished. It's telling you, take notes. Are you taking notes, or are you crying over the grade? Think about Thomas Edison. The man failed over 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. Imagine if he quit at attempt number 500. Imagine if he said, well, I guess darkness is permanent. You wouldn't be sitting under lights right now. You wouldn't even be able to watch this video. So let me ask you, how many blessings, how many breakthroughs are you canceling because you're calling something final that was meant to be feedback? You watching this right now, you got a dream. You got something burning in your heart, but you failed once and you're embarrassed. You failed twice and now you're scared. You failed 3 times and now you think it's over. But let me tell you, Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah got fired from her first TV job. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, but they didn't take failure as final. They took it as notes. But wait, let me keep it real with you. Some of you treat failure like a mirror instead of a message. You look at it and say, this is who I am. No, that's not who you are. That's what you did. That's what you tried. That's just the result of an attempt. Failure is not identity. Failure is information. And let me ask you, how many of you are still stuck in a failure from 5 years ago? You let it define you. You let it tell you what you can't do. Why? If failure was final, there wouldn't be comebacks. If failure was final, there wouldn't be second chances. If failure was final, I wouldn't even be here speaking to you today. Listen, failure is not your enemy. Failure is your coach. Every miss, every loss, every heartbreak, it's coaching you. It's saying, fix your form, fix your focus, fix your fire. The problem is not failure. The problem is you don't want to be coached. But wait, I'm about to drop something heavy right here. You can fail and still be on track. Did you hear me? Failure doesn't mean you're off course. It means you're learning how to stay on course. Failure means you are in the process. Success is not straight. It's messy. It's bumpy. It's ugly. Failure is the evidence that you're moving. People who don't fail are the ones who never try. So I'm asking you, do you want a safe life or do you want a successful life? Because safe means no risk, no pain, no failure, but also no growth. Successful means risk, rejection, struggle, and yes, failure. But it also means victory. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall 100 times. They trip, they stumble, they bump their head, but nobody calls them a failure. Nobody says, well, I guess walking isn't for you. No, the falls are the feedback. And eventually they get up and they walk and then they run. So why, when you fall, do you call yourself a failure? Let me get personal with you. I failed the GD twice. People laughed at me. People said, ET ain't gonna be nothing. But the 3rd time I passed. And because I passed, I got into college. And because I got into college, I became the first in my family to graduate. And because I graduated, I got a master's. And because I got a master's, I got a PhD. But if I believed failure was final, you would never hear my voice today. And I know somebody right now is watching, and you're sitting in your own failure. Business failed, relationship failed, health failed, dream failed, and you're thinking, it's over. No, it's not over. You're breathing. If you're breathing, it's not final. If you're breathing, you got another chance. But here's the question, what are you gonna do with that chance? Are you going to cry about what didn't work, or are you going to learn from it? Are you going to keep replaying your losses, or are you going to rewrite your future? Because let me tell you something, you don't need perfect. You just need persistence. You don't need to avoid failure. You need to learn from it. The people at the top, they didn't get there without failure. They got there because they failed and failed and failed and then figured it out. But wait, lean in. This is the part you can't miss. Failure feels like pain, but pain is the down payment for greatness. Pain is the tuition for success. You can't skip the classroom of failure and expect to graduate into your destiny. I'm telling you, stop being scared of failure. Start respecting it. Start welcoming it. Start saying, thank you, failure, for showing me what doesn't work so I can get closer to what does. Change the way you talk to yourself. Stop saying, I lost. Start saying, I learned. Stop saying, it's over. Start saying, it's feedback. Let me ask you again, how bad do you want it? Bad enough to fail for it. Bad enough to be embarrassed for it. Bad enough to get laughed at, doubted, rejected, and still keep going. Because that's what it takes. The people who win are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. They're the ones who look at failure and say, thank you. You taught me something. Now let me try again. So here's my challenge to you. I want you to write down your last failure. Write it down. And next to it, instead of writing the end, I want you to write feedback. Then I want you to ask yourself, what did this failure teach me? And then I need you to act on that lesson today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because failure is not the end of your story. It's just a chapter. And you decide how the book ends. Now go out there, fall, learn, rise, and win. Because failure is feedback, not final.